the 9th of February that, quote, notwithstanding the public consultation process, it's my expectation that the government will act on at least some of these recommendations and make significant changes to Schedule 4.
Speaker, yes, and we are continuing with our proposal to add 14 areas totalling 12,400 hectares of land to Schedule 4. However, we've listened carefully to the public's concern and decided not to take any areas of land out. Instead, we are focusing the government's effort on assessing New Zealand's mineral wealth in the areas outside Schedule 4. That mineral wealth is likely to be very substantial.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Supplementary question. Mr Speaker, does the Prime Minister's change of heart mean that he does not now believe in mining in our national parks and protected Schedule 4 areas? If so, why did he propose it in the first place?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, firstly, a couple of things. The government has listened to the people of New Zealand who I think, on balance, have said that they don't want mining on Schedule 4, but they do want expanded mining around the rest of New Zealand in certain parts, as long as it's done environmentally friendly, and I support them on that. And I might add, the Cabinet had always taken a conservative view, which is why we whittled down the 467,000 hectares recommended by the officials to a mere 7,000 before we even started the process.
Mr Speaker,
Order.
Isn't it true that the people who recommended to Cabinet, with the Prime Minister's concurrence, that 467,000 hectares of national parkland be mined were Jerry Brownlee and Kate Wilkinson?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, no, the officials recommended that.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition. Order. Order. Today, naturally, is a little robust, but I've called the Honourable Leader of the Opposition. His colleagues should let him ask his question.
Mr Speaker, does the Prime Minister accept the responsibility for putting forward plans to mine our national parks and areas like Great Barrier and the Coromandel Peninsula, or does he put the blame on Jerry Brownlee?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I take responsibility for wanting New Zealand to be a wealthier country, and that's exactly what we'll be doing by expanding our mining and exploration activities, just not in pristine national parks.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr Speaker, how does the Prime Minister rate the following in terms of his ambition to catch up with Australia and create jobs? His plan to mine and protected national parks, his job summit, the 2025 task force, Chinese investment in broadband, and New Zealand as a world centre for financial services. And what cloud is he going to jump on next?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, I can't be sure whether I'm on a cloud, but I know the Leader of the Opposition's in a hole anyway from the latest polls I've seen. But talking of digging things up, I don't know if the only place he'll be safe is in a pristine national park, because that's the only place we can't dig a hole for him. Mr Speaker, the member will have to wait and see. Plenty of those things are coming.
Rahui Katene. Order. I've called Rahui Katene, and it's hard to hear members at the back. Rahui Katene.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Prime Minister, was he aware of the statement by Ngāti Rehua Chair Rawiri Wharemate that the government failed to warn the hapu about its plans to commence mining on Great Barrier Island? And what influence did iwi opposition have in the decision not to remove any land from Schedule 4 of the Crown Minerals Act?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, it's my understanding that Jerry Brownlee had a hui on Great Barrier Island with the iwi, and their views were a factor in the government's decision.
Question number 3, Metiria Turei. Turei.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Order. I've called Metiria Turei.
My question is to the Minister of Energy and Resources, to the Prime Minister, excuse me, sir. My question is to the Prime Minister and asks, does he stand by his reported statement on Breakfast TV yesterday regarding mining on